Hello, guys. Welcome back to Goal Rush, where we look at all the soccer news that's taken place in the last week. Yeah, I'm still working on that intro. So bad. So bad. But, as I do realize the U.S. are out of the World Cup, does not mean that there isn't still a lot of fucking action. And I will tell you, I really cannot wait until the Australia and England game. That one's going to be one hell of a game, I tell you. I'm gonna tell you that's gonna be one hell of a game. But on the road there, Australia obviously beat France on penalties, which and this is also from the New York Times, but can you imagine? I don't like this loading thing, but okay. So yeah, okay. This is obviously pops everything up. Obviously, you can't tell a lot of emotion in that one photo, but they did win on penalties, and it is the longest penalties shootout that men's or women's in any World Cup. Where I think it said there was 20. So, and then also I will say with penalty shootouts, especially when it comes to games, because there's a lot that goes into before you get to a penalty shootout, especially you have to obviously play extra time, in which if anyone's ever wondering why they make substitutions, it's because you get fucking tired. People do not understand. I feel oh, well, soccer's so easy. You see those people are well, you didn't get the job done. It's okay, but are you out there playing 11v11, freaking darting and running and sprinting for you? It's not as easy as it looks. It does kind of, get kind of crazy. And 30 extra minutes is a lot. It's your body goes through a lot of shit. Just saying, it goes through a lot of shit. And I love when people always try to tell me that. I'm like, no, you play 11v11 and go into extra time. And then I love the people who try to tell me penalties are so easy. Okay, I realize I've never played in front of a big stadium, but I will tell you, even in recreational games, there's a lot of fucking pressure. Holy shit. I have taken penalties before in little recreational games. A lot of pressure. I realize it's not that fucking deep, but just saying, stressful. I just want to kind of get that out there. Also, what I'm loving with this World Cup, guys, is all the not drama, but all those things. It's really bringing in a lot of viewership and a lot of just bringing in a lot of people, which is what soccer should do. It's what I love. I realize I'm going through this article pretty fast. Although I wouldn't have wanted to be Australia because that seems really stressful. Because most penalty shootouts you get usually it's 5-4 if something like that in penalties, if it's still tied at the end of the game. But you gotta imagine they did 20 penalties altogether, both teams. Imagine how agonizing that has to be. Because it's all you're jeopardizing everything you wanted on penalties. And for it to take that long, that's just anxiety inducing. And then the other thing I kind of wanted to get into with this. Oh, where was it? Colombia I don't know if anyone watched that game where they played England, and then also England's road to get to the semifinals. I think Colombia gave them one hell of a game. Obviously, England had players step up when they were needed. But Colombia has been giving a good World Cup performance, and obviously very inspiring too. A few years ago, they wouldn't have been really counted as a top tier team, but now they're kind of looked at as okay, a team that obviously is, they're gonna fight till the end, and that's honestly really amazing. Like I love underdog stories. I really do. I don't really know anyone who watches soccer and is like, oh my god, yes, I want to watch. Like I see the side of people who are like, oh, they want two of the big teams to play each other, which is pretty cool. But when you're watching underdog teams go up against big teams, I guess, and watching them pretty much either control the game or just put pressure on them so much that it's that's pretty damn cool. And Colombia was the one that actually scored first after catching the goalkeeper flat-footed, which obviously, yes, does happen to goalkeepers. Because sometimes there are just things you're not expecting, and that's in any position. Yes, you can read the game all you want, but there's things you're going to miss. And that happens in life, too. So there's all that is to it. Let's see. Because I also didn't know if I can find the article I wanted. But, I love that. Is Qatar World Cup still on? It's not 2022. So, I've seen a lot of criticism going to the to the women's national team out here in the U.S. Here's the thing I have to say with that. Yes, they are a big team, but to saying to them losing, and also to kind of what even Sweden had to say, they're like this, that's kind of ridiculous how you kind of treat your team of, oh, well, you're not good enough, and it's but they've always come back and stronger, and to be honest, that's what a lot of teams do, is come back stronger. And if you've noticed in the Women's World Cup, it's not as said and done as it was in 2019 when the U.S. was flying through their group stage. If you watched previous games of where they played, you would notice it's not said and done. And a lot of big teams too, other big teams, it wasn't just said and done of them doing that. Of a small team that no one's really seen, and it's okay. But if you notice, the world has kind of caught up when it comes to women's sports and, and women's soccer in general. The world has kind of caught up. Obviously, because you saw other big upsets too. For one, Brazil got knocked out of the group stages. Canada did. And if you look at the FIFA rankings, which we can look at here in a minute. If you look at the FIFA rankings, Brazil, Canada, and Germany got knocked out in the group stages. But you've seen teams like Colombia, Jamaica come up huge. The Philippines, even though the Philippines didn't make it out of the group stage, you saw some big improvements, and you saw them put big teams and just, put all that pressure on them, and they played their game. So, yeah, I don't love when people tell me that. I really don't. But let's look at some FIFA rankings so we can see. I don't think they've updated them yet. Oops. spell. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. We can look at the men's too if you want, guys, but I can look at the men's and see what I want to. Okay. So yeah, obviously the U.S., you have Germany. Number 3, Sweden. Number 4, England, and England has played really good. France, Spain, and obviously Spain's been doing great too. Canada, Brazil, Netherlands, Australia. Even Japan had a really good World Cup. But if you notice here, like, I know I'm going through this really fast, but like, obviously there is always room for improvement in any team. But again, the world's catching up, or if not, pretty much has caught up. You know, maybe with the exception of a few teams, they've caught up. But I love the, you know, that even Jamaica, they had started 2019, I think they lost every one of their games in 2019. And I think they lost, and then this year they had, I think they topped the group, I believe. I'm not like 100% sure on that one, but they came like first or second in the group. But, you know, they've done amazing, and obviously they're putting big teams in pressure, so to be honest, it's not just cut and throw anymore. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep going on a little tangent here. Also with Spain's actually a pretty good team. First ever semifinals. I want to say that I think Spain and Australia, it's their first time in the semifinals. And then you have England and Sweden who have I know England's been in the semifinals, and I believe so has Sweden. But they've been in the semifinals, and I think the only team out of the 4 that's actually been in a final is Sweden. And what's cool with this World Cup is pretty much a new team, like a new nation is actually gonna be a champion. That has not been one yet, so it's actually pretty cool. Let me see if I can find any other soccer news. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Well, I actually didn't know there was a FIFA website. Yeah, motivation. So we'll look at Sweden's motivation, and then I'll end here. But so yeah, I'm cheering for Spain. Obviously Spain and Sweden. Yeah, I'm getting my S's mixed up here. Are, obviously 2 top contenders. And I think they both got a pretty good chance out of what they've been playing. Yeah, I'm trying to I don't know why it says upset Japan, because when we look at the FIFA rankings, Japan's number 11. Just saying. But, still a good game nonetheless. Yeah. One thing that gives them confidence is key. Trying to find good ones here. Yeah. But that's all I've got for you guys today on Gold Rush. Until next week, I will see you then. Peace.